The secret is out. Bowling Green tight end Harold Fannin Jr. is one of the most boomer bust prospects in the entire 2025 NFL draft. And it just so happens that he was the best tight end in college football this year, despite what some of the experts think. Harold Fannin Jr. led the nation in targets, receptions, yards, and touchdowns from the tight end position, and will be a valuable weapon in the passing game to any team that decides to take a chance on him. Let's get into some of the advanced stats to understand how dominant Fannin really was this season. Taking a look at the PFF advanced stats for these college tight ends. This list includes all tight ends in college football that had at least 12 targets this year, just eliminating any really big outliers. Starting off really strong here with Harold Fannin, obviously had the highest total offensive grade in the nation among tight ends, also had the highest receiving grade. Those usually follow pretty close. It's still really impressive. Also a 90.1 drop grade, so good hands. That drop grade, again, third in the nation. Really good stuff. Then here's something really important as we look to these dynasty drafts. Look how versatile Fannin is, as we're going to see in the film. Snaps from the slot, 123. Snaps out wide, 99. And snaps in line, 156. That's a pretty fair split. So really didn't play a ton in any of these three spots, kind of split fairly evenly among the three. So he was deployed all over the field pretty consistently. And then obviously a big number, led the nation in yards after catch by a comfortable margin, which is something we're going to see in the film when we break it down. Almost 150 yards ahead of second place, who was Tyler Warren. Led the nation in receiving yards per route run. That's how efficient he's been, which obviously is a big driving force for fantasy football. All these routes he's running, he's getting a ton of receiving yards per route. That's going to be huge. And I mean, what a season from Harold Fannin Jr. out of Bowling Green, taking the top spot in several of these advanced stats provided by PFF. Really just fantastic play on the field that's backed up by these stats. And before we get into the film breakdown, we're going to be breaking down the Penn State game today. Obviously, that's a really quality opponent. They're in the college football playoff. He had 137 yards and a touchdown against them on 13 targets. But he also played another really good team in Texas A&M, had 145 yards and a touchdown there. So I know the MAC isn't the greatest conference as far as strength of schedule, but he played two really high-quality opponents and dominated against them, posting 130-plus yards and a touchdown in each of those games. So he can play well against opponents from the Big Ten and the SEC. Let's go ahead and get into the film breakdown. Starting off with our first play here, we're going to see a cover 3 look from Penn State. They're going to bring down the safety into a zone over the middle. This boundary defender is going to go into a deep zone, as well as this one, and then we're going to have a deep zone over the middle, really solidifying this cover 3 look from Penn State. We're going to have several zones over the middle as well. Not really drawn to scale, just kind of showing you guys what it's going to look like. And then Harold Fannin, the tight end, he's going to run a seam route up into kind of this area here, and that's where he's going to find a hole in the zone coverage, the soft spot there, and he's going to be hit down the middle of the field for a huge gain. And we're going to see here his speediness, how athletic he is getting down the field, and how he can be used as that speedy option in the passing game from the tight end position, both inline, from the slot, even on the outside at times. He's going to be deployed all over the field, which is one of his most important qualities as a draft prospect. But we'll see it here. Fannin with the yellow arrow on him. Ball snapped. And right here, it's zone coverage because all the eyes are on the quarterback. As we can see, these two boundary players dropping into deep zones. And here's the hole right here for Fannin. This defender has dropped back into his zone with his eyes on the quarterback, trusting he has help behind him, which he does, but it's not going to get there in time. And right here, X marks the spot. This is where the catch is going to be made for a huge gain for Bowling Green. And right there, what a throw from the quarterback, and good concentration from Fannin, hauling that in for a huge gain. We'll see the replay here, down the seam, Fannin on the left side of the offensive line, number 0. Down the seam, look how fast he is. Find the soft spot, and great catch, good throw. This next play here, we're going to see man coverage across the board from Penn State against Bowling Green. Here's Harold Fannin right here. This defender is going to go off into a corner route, just eliminating this defender from the play, so we don't have to worry about him as much. Fannin's going to go into an out route towards the sideline, which at first doesn't seem very hard. You have a defensive back on a tight end. He should be able to keep up with something like that. But Bowling Green does a nice job creating traffic in this offensive scheme. They're going to have a hitch here from the wide receiver. And since it's man coverage, this defender is in the way of this defensive back, causing them to get tangled up right around here. Fannin is going to come wide open towards the sideline and have an easy touchdown. Ball snapped right here, and this is where it happens. These guys get tangled up. Fannin's going to have a clear path underneath. Great play design from the Falcons. Pass to him, and he's athletic enough to get it in, touchdown. Next play from Bowling Green, we see Harold Fannin in line on the left side of the offensive line there. This is going to be a play action from the Falcons. They're going to fake to the running back here, even have a lead blocker in to sell the run. It's going to be a really good fake, and a lot of the defense over here is going to bite to their right. Fannin is going to start to block just a little bit and then sneak out to the other side of the field. They're going to completely lose him in the defense. He's going to come wide open for a big gain, and most importantly, get some yards after the catch, which is exactly what he's known for as a draft prospect. That's going to be huge as we go through this film study, so just keep that in mind. And he's doing it even against some of the stiffest competition in the country, the Penn State Nittany Lions, who of course are a playoff team. So if you're looking for stiff competition, even with Fannin playing in the Mid-America Conference, the MAC, we see him play some serious competition against Penn State here and have some pretty good production this game. Ball snapped, play action right here. You can see a lot of this defense has bit on the play action. They all have their eyes on this side of the field. Meanwhile, Fannin is going to come right into this area here. Good distraction. Fannin comes across the field wide open. Good catch, and then gets some nice yards with a nice move on the defensive back. Almost got out of the tackle. We'll see a replay of it. And Fannin's going to be on the left side of the offensive line right here. Nice little play action fake. He blocks, sneaks out wide open. That defensive back can't catch up. Good move from Fannin, gets some extra yards. Our next play here, Fannin is not going to draw the target. We're going to see a really good route regardless. He's going to run what looks like a crosser, but then he's going to break it up straight off here. But he's going to break out, continuing his crosser, if you want to think of it that way. What I really want to focus on is when he gets to the top of this crossing route. Before he breaks out again, the head fake he throws at the top of his route is really nice. The defender plays good coverage, but kind of gets lucky. I mean, if Fannin broke it off this way, he would have been completely lost in coverage. But Fannin kept running the same way as his route decided, and the defender stayed step for step with him. Nonetheless, solid coverage, but a really good route from Fannin, especially that break on the top. Watch the head fake. In a lot of reps, I think this would create a lot of separation, and some really good route running from Fannin. We'll see even more of that as we go through this film study against Penn State. Let's go and start the play. Fannin on the end of the offensive line on the left. It's going to be play action, and right there, kind of has a step on the defensive back if he keeps going this way. He does have that speed. Then we'll see him break it up at the top, and look at that head fake. This defender honestly doesn't really know where Fannin's at for a second here. Fannin, head fake at the top, and then he's going to keep going this way. Really nice break on the route, and we'll watch that through one more time. But then continues on, covered there. Fannin left side of the line again, watching full speed. Right at the top of the route, great break, even though it gets covered. Starting off with this play, this is kind of my problem with Fannin as a prospect. He's only around 230 pounds, I believe, so really not heavy at all for a tight end, really on the lighter side. You don't find too many tight ends lighter than that. He's going to be lined up here, and he's going to go to the left side and try to lay a block as this running back tries to follow him. But the issue is he's not a really powerful blocker. He doesn't really pack a punch in that part of the game, especially in the running game. Sometimes he even gets lost as a blocker, struggling to find an assignment. But here we'll see the defender not get knocked back at all by his punch, immediately get around him and make the tackles. So in this game, he kind of looked like a liability in the blocking game. He did have a couple good reps, but I really don't think, especially at 230 pounds, he's going to be a big part of the running game for any NFL offense unless they really need him to. Because if put in the wrong matchup, it's not going to be good for an NFL offense. I'm not saying he's a terrible blocker. He's just not the best, especially at his size. And again, struggling to find those assignments. Ball snapped right here, Fannin. And we'll see it right here. I don't know if you can see with the collision over here. He's going to easily get around Fannin, make the tackle on the running back, stop the play before it can get started. Here's Fannin right here. They're going to bring him across when the ball is snapped. And right here, Fannin tries to block this guy, squares him up fine, but doesn't really pack a punch. Lets him get around him too easy. We'll see it. And able to make the tackle on the running back with some help. Next, we're going to have a little bit of fun. They're going to bring Fannin back when the ball is snapped, pitch it to him, and he's going to become the quarterback. As this player goes way down the field, Fannin is going to throw a deep ball to him, which I think was a really good throw, but just showing some of Fannin's true versatility even as a quarterback in this offense. So let's watch the trick play real quick. I really think it was a dot. They see Fannin, drops back, throws it. It was great coverage, but we'll see on the replay. I think it was a really good throw that could have been caught if not for the coverage. We'll watch it one more time. Fannin. Let's get a motion back from that left side right there. Bottom of your screen, throws it. and I mean, hits him in the hands. I mean, I thought that was a good throw. Next play here, we're going to have Harold Fannin in man-to-man coverage against this defensive back here. He's going to have a nice little release, breaking to the outside and then cutting back inside. Doing a great job swiping away the hands of the press coverage. When the defender tries to get hands on him, slowing him down, he can't. Harold Fannin speeds, breaks to the inside. Nice little right here, making himself wide open for his quarterback to give him an easy read, using that athleticism to generate a ton of separation. This defensive back makes one wrong move, jumps to the outside a little bit. Fannin able to swipe away the hands and speed up field, just burning the defensive back for a huge gain up the seam and able to fight for some extra yards as well, so we'll see that. And only one deep safety too, so Fannin has a lot of space to work with once he gets upfield. In motion, ball snaps right now. Fannin, you can see, took a step to the outside, just like a little jab step, like you see on the basketball court. He's going to break back inside right here and have a little bit of leverage on the defender because he's going to end up breaking inside. The defender has kind of leaned to the outside a little bit. Fannin, they get locked up here because that good release gets ahead of the defender, swipes away the hands, breaks back inside, wide open up the seam. And we're going to see that one more time. What a play. Good yards after the catch, showing that speed. And good stuff in man coverage, especially against the press. Fannin in his matchup right here. Release, breaks inside, swipes away the hands. Too physical. Gets down the field. Nice little move. Look at that. Good stuff. This next play here, we're going to see a nice little counter run with this offensive lineman coming over and sealing off this right side here pretty well. Here is Harold Fannin. Again, we're going to bring up the blocking. Not a strong point in his game, it seems, from this tape. We're going to see a lot of hesitation where really he could have laid a block. When this running back breaks through the hole and has some space upfield, Fannin could have laid a block that allowed this running back to get deeper to the second level. But he hesitates a bit, doesn't take on the blocker, and nothing comes of it really. But we'll watch that here. There's Fannin. And here's the counter. Good block by 75. And right here, this running back is able to cut up the hole. Fannin has a chance to cut this guy off, try to lay a block before he gets there. All this running back chooses a gap, but he doesn't get there. He kind of just hesitates, and the defender is able to make the tackle on him pretty easily. Right here, yeah, there's the tackle. Fannin, even though the running back fights for some extra yards, could have made that easier for him. We'll see it one more time. And right here, Fannin, could block number one, hesitates a bit, and isn't able to do much about it. Here's Harold Fannin on the next play. We matched up in a pretty soft one-on-one coverage matchup with this defensive back. He's going to take advantage of all the cushion that the defense gives him and run a really nice just slant route over the middle and come wide open for the quarterback. Does a nice job on the break, flipping his hips to the inside and breaking off really quickly and violently. And we'll see the break. He's a good route runner on the inside there with the yellow arrow. And right there, good break. Burst inside. Nice. Good yards after the catch, too. Breaks a couple tackles. Nice stuff. Known for that yards after the catch ability. We're going to see a run up the middle from Bowling Green here. And Fannin, again, not going to do a good job meeting a defender head on in a block. He's going to have an opportunity to block number one here, pretty much head on, and just hesitates, lets him get around him and make the tackle on the running back, or at least help make the tackle. When Fannin really could have blocked him, sealed this part of the field off, and allowed this to become a bigger run, he kind of hesitates, and the defender just goes completely around him. So not a strong job in the blocking game here from Fannin again. Here's the run, and right here, hesitates, and the defender gets completely around him and helps make the tackle. So not a great job. First off, I apologize. This clip is not as smooth as the rest, so it's going to be a little tougher to watch. But we'll see Fannin on the outside here, see a bit of that versatility we've talked about so far. He's going to release inside and then do a really nice job leaning to the right on the route and then breaking back inside. Really good inside route from Fannin on the inbreaker. Really good release at the top of the route, leaning outside, making the defender think he's going to go that way, and then breaking back inside. Really good change of direction on that route. Being physical and having a good release at the top of the route. Good separation and good to see him win on the outside against a defensive back in this man coverage. That's a huge positive to see, especially as he moves towards the NFL level. Being able to win on the outside as a tight end is a pretty nice thing to have if you're an NFL offense. So clips like these are probably going to help boost his draft stock, and we'll see it here. Fannin inside release, presses the outside here on the route, and then cuts back inside on the break. Gets open, doesn't draw the target, but if the quarterback wasn't so pressured, probably would have got it to Fannin in time. Next here, we're going to see Fannin on a screen right here. Just see him get the ball in his hands and make a move after the catch, getting a ton of yards afterwards, taking a route to the outside, and beating a ton of defenders. And Harold Fannin, man, he's just a football guy. Let him get the ball in his hands, make a man miss. Even at the tight end position, not all tight ends are the same. Harold Fannin is a fantastic example of that. Just get the ball in his hands, let him work, let him get some yards after the catch. He can be a dynamic and explosive threat to any NFL defense when he is drafted this April. So we'll see. There's a screen, ball in his hands, navigate to the outside, and doesn't get brought down there, breaks tackle. Good yards, man. Good stuff. Really good versatility from Fannin, and really good stuff after the catch. We're going to see a zone coverage from Penn State here, and a fantastic play design from the Bowling Green Falcons. This running back motions out to the right side, and they're going to fake the screen to him. Harold Fannin Jr. is going to start to block and then break out into kind of a wheel, just a go route, really. Both of these defenders in zone bite down on this screen, and by the time they realize it's a fake, Harold Fannin is going to use his speed to fly down the sideline, coming wide open on this trick play for a big play. Running back in motion right here. There's Fannin. Ball snapped right there. He's going to fake like he's going to go block, and then breaks upfield. Great execution on the play. Really fun to watch. Ball snap, running back on the outside. Fannin fakes. Great play. So we've checked out the film and the stats, and they both back up the fact that Harold Fannin Jr. was not only one of the best tight ends in the nation, but one of the best overall receivers in the entire nation during the 2024 college football season. I mean, it's not often you see a tight end second in receiving yards in the entire country. And 100 receptions for a tight end in college football is practically unheard of. He's an elite weapon in the passing game and great after the catch, and that can help you pick up a ton of extra yards. If you're in need of an explosive tight end in Dynasty Fantasy Football, Harold Fannin Jr. is worth a pick in one of the first few rounds of your Dynasty rookie draft. He may be a really boomer bust prospect, but if he ends up being one of the top targets in an NFL offense, he could be one of the best tight ends in fantasy football. Now, it's still early in the pre-draft process, and we have a lot more time to go before the draft, but as it stands, Harold Fannin is one of the top few tight end prospects in this year's draft, and I don't expect that to change too much. He's athletic, he's a good route runner, he's elite after the catch, and he'll be a great weapon for any NFL offense. I'm confident in his high ceiling in Dynasty Fantasy Football, and if you are too, you shouldn't hesitate to pick him in one of the first few rounds in your Dynasty rookie draft. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Joe, and this is Dynasty Trading Room.